Good evening and welcome back to the channel. This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Okay, so a lot of talk about the economy. The economy's collapsing. We're going into recession, blah, 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 right? This is an economic hurricane and you better brace yourselves and all this other stuff. Okay, so we should start with the question, why is the economy collapsing? Well, the economy is collapsing, one, because we have a fraudulent banking system, but if you want to just move that to the side for a second, they've implemented policies that have caused inflation to skyrocket, that have caused gas prices to skyrocket, that have caused shortages of essential goods and services, right? So that is, the policy decisions have had a lot to do with why we are where we are right now. That's not even just my opinion. That was coming from Larry Fink just 3 or 4 days ago, right? So policy decisions have led us to this point. These policies were, in my opinion, insane, and they only had one logical conclusion, which was leading us to right where we are right now. Now, why did they do this? Why did they implement these policies that had such a negative effect? Well, either they're extremely incompetent, or this was all intentional and they wanted us to be exactly where we are right now. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, they're rolling out a whole new system all over the world right now. And if you need more examples of this, here recently, Stellar partnering with Mercado Bitcoin, going to be working with the Central Bank of Brazil on exploring CBDCs. You have Algorand working with Coinbanks, the same firm that they worked with in El Salvador. Now they're working with Coinbanks in Nigeria to implement blockchain technology in Nigeria. So this is just continuing on. And over the next couple weeks, there's going to be more examples of this, and over the next few months, and it's just going to continue because this is an implementation process that they have no intention of stopping. If they did, we would have already seen that by now. They have more incentive to continue on implementing this than anybody else, and they have almost no incentive to stop implementing this. And this is one thing that has really transcended politics or geopolitical conflict. Even China. Okay, you look at China, you look at Russia, you look at Ukraine, all working with crypto, blockchain in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So it's happening all around the world. And it's going to continue to happen all around the world because this is the new system, and this is why everything else is collapsing, in my opinion. All right, they are intentionally driving the old system into the ground. They're intentionally inflating fiat currencies at a scale that we've never seen before. They've blown a debt bubble that I'm speechless trying to find the words to describe the debt bubble that we're currently in. But at the end of the day, that's the situation, right? So if I'm looking at people who are destroying a system to make way for a new system, and I'm already in the new system, I just, maybe I'm crazy, because the fact that everybody's not coming to that general conclusion makes me wonder, like, is it something like I don't understand how people don't come to that conclusion. I really don't. I mean, I dead serious. I don't understand it at all. I mean, maybe it's a lack of information. Maybe it's a lack of perception on what it is that they're seeing. I think that some people think that the implementation of blockchain technology is like in the year 2030 and not right now. I don't think that they're realize what's happening right now in front of them. And again, this is only what we know, not what we don't know. If you remember my video about Algorand, Flexa, El Salvador, that video I did 4 or 5 months ago, that's actually a really good video. And I showed the media cover up on the Algorand and Flexa portion of this whole situation. And that by the time they actually reported it, first, it was like a back page story, and very few people in the space even know that those two partnerships exist. They even know that Flexa and Algorand are being used in El Salvador, but they were like back page stories, and it was all about Bitcoin, okay? Forget the fact that the entire government infrastructure is running on Algorand. Forget about that. Forget about the fact that Flex is the thing that's making all of this go, because they're making payments instantaneous, fraud-proof payments instantaneous. So forget about all that. It was all about Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin and Strike, Jack Mallers, right? All this other bullshit, but they wouldn't talk about Algorand or Flexa, right? So I'm not really sure why I went off on a tangent about that. But all right, so let me reel it back in and get back to the central theme here. They're intentionally destroying the old system to make way for the new system, in my opinion. Right now, that is my opinion, but also Pippa Malmgren said that exact thing almost. We are abandoning the old system, which that's exactly what it looks like they're doing. And we're moving to a new system on the blockchain. Also, exactly what it looks like they're doing. So when I see an economy collapsing because of this whole situation, and I'm already here, it just, the thought of me exchanging my XLM for dollars, XLM probably going 100x, not financial advice, okay? Not financial advice, it's just my opinion from this price range, probably going 100x and potentially beyond. Trading that for dollars that are going to zero in a system that's being phased out and replaced by this new system that I'm already invested in. That, do you understand? Like, I just don't understand these people. I don't understand them. I don't. I get trying to swing. I do. And like, hey, I'm right here. I think it's dropping to here. I'm going to move over into stables. And then when it drops, I'm going to move back and I'm going to be able to have a 20 to 30% come up. I understand that position. I really do. But for me, I don't need to do that. I have enough. And I guess that's the real point, is how much do you have? Do you feel like you have enough? And do you feel like if you just let it ride right now with whatever you had, you didn't buy anything else, would you have enough to achieve whatever goals you set out to achieve by getting into the space? For me, the answer is yes. I'm going to continue to buy because I don't want to really be holding a whole lot of dollars. But I mean, that's pretty much that. So for this week, I'm going to be watching the S&P. I mean, we might go back down over the next week or two, back down to that 38.40 range for the S&P. But we'll see. We'll see. I personally think they're going to push the stock market higher. I've thought this through a lot. I'm not in stocks, guys. I defer to Gregory Mannarino on this. Not like I just take everything he says, without questioning it, or that I don't disagree on certain things, because I do. But I think that they're going to push stocks higher. I do. Because at this point, they're pretty much just destroying their own wealth. They've already financially broke most normal everyday people. 65% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, cannot afford a $500 emergency bill. 65%. They've already bankrupted most of the country. And they can just, all that's going to happen from here on out is those people are just going to continue to be squeezed by $5 gasoline and skyrocketing food prices. So, I mean, they're just going to get squeezed. And if they do still have a 401k, they're going to have to cash it out to be able to afford to pay their bills. So what's going to happen over the next year is all the people who are just hanging on by a thread, who are living paycheck to paycheck, but maybe they do still have some assets. Maybe they do still have a house. Maybe they do still have a 401k. They're going to have to sell their assets. They're going to have to sell their assets to be able to pay for everything else. Because if you're not making more money, if you're not keeping up with inflation, and if you're not, I mean, then you get squeezed. And to the point where you have no more capital and you have to start selling assets. And that's what is happening to people right now. And it's going to continue to happen to people. So it's not a whole lot of incentive for them to crash the stock market right now, in my opinion. But, again, assume the opposite of anything that I say is going to happen with price action. And I'm just like going with gut feeling, right? I mean, guys, Bitcoin is at there's a lot of historical bottom indicators showing. That doesn't mean that we're at the bottom, okay? We still, the 200-week moving average is around the 22, 23 range. And I said originally that I think the bottom was in, that I think that we could potentially wick down to 23 to 24, but then I would think that would be the end. And I still stand by that. So I believe the bottom's in, but I believe if we do wick down again, it'll be around that range, around the 200-week moving average range, 22-ish, and then that'll be it. And that's my take. And I don't care what all these people say. I don't care what the Winklevoss twins say. The Winklevoss twins are huge Ethereum bulls, right? And they come out saying there's crypto winter and all this other shit. Hey, that's fine. People can call it a crypto winter. People can call it a bear market. People can call it whatever they want to. You know what? Implementation is going to continue. And the companies that are being implemented right now are many that are in my portfolio. So the thought that I would ever in a million years trade those assets for dollars that are being devalued at a rapid pace, that are entirely, that is up to the control of central bankers who have every intention on devaluing the dollar down to nothing. No shot. Again, there's always a temporary month, 2 month, maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months benefit of sitting in cash. But at this point, it just doesn't make sense for me. I have enough accumulated. I'm good to go. So that's that. The Winklevoss twins talking about a crypto winter. And remember, they're huge Ethereum bulls. And look at what's happened to Ethereum supply over the last 2-year trend. It has barely broken. You could draw a line right through the Ethereum supply over the last 2 years. I want to say that Ethereum supply is at the lowest point that it's been in close to 5 years. I think that it's right around that time frame. I'd have to go back and look at the graph, but I mean, that's the Ethereum supply. That's the most bullish chart in crypto, is Ethereum supply. That's the most bullish chart that you could find anywhere in crypto, in my opinion. And again, the Winklevoss twins are huge Ethereum bulls. Ethereum supply has been regularly cratering despite what's happened with price. They're like, oh yeah, it's a crypto winter. Even though a month or two ago they were saying buy the dip. So I don't believe any of these people, right? I don't believe any of them, especially in times of mass fear. In times of mass fear, you can really not rely on anybody except for yourself. You know, you have to look at, guys, go back to what I said like a month and a half ago. If you need to write a list out and write bull thesis, bear thesis, write all the reasons why you're bullish, all the reasons why you're bearish, and then see which one makes a stronger case, right? I think that would be a good idea. All right, that's it. This was all over the place. I gotta start, you know, putting like an outline for my videos, because there's just so much going on where I just start shooting off in every different direction, and I can't keep my, you know, train of thought on one topic. So that's it, guys. That's what I'm watching this week. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I would say if you're not prepared, guys, you really do need to start. You really do need to start preparing. I mean, I am going to give you advice on that. They're telling you a food shortage is coming. They're telling you that all these things are coming. Just make sure you're prepared, because while things seem fine now, right? One event could cause people to run out to the grocery store and buy up everything. And guys, the media can do this in a heartbeat. They can do this whenever they want to. The media themselves can create panic whenever they want to. Now, see, right now, they're just trying to distract people, and they're trying to avoid a panic-type situation. But at some point in time, that will probably change. And if something happens and people start getting, you know, very fearful, they're going to go to the store and they're going to buy everything the same way they did back at the beginning of the pandemic. So just make sure that you have what you need. That's all I got for this video. Not financial advice. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.